Ken Walkerton, thanks so very much. From the SNY Sam McKee Memorial broadcast set here at Meadowlands Racing and Entertainment, it's time for In the Sulky. I'm your host, Dave Little, and I'm joined by Jimmy Whittemore. Jimmy, thanks so much for spending a few minutes with us.
No problem.
Now, last weekend, you showed up at the Meadowlands for the first time in 2019. You sent out 6 horses, and you won with 3 of them. So what took you so long to get here?
I just decided to bring them down here to try to get them speed tight for Vernon and Plain Ridge, but that was my main goal, to come up here and see how they did.
Now, you say speed tightened, but you actually won 3 races, so obviously things went a little bit beyond your expectations.
Yeah, a lot of them classification helped. A lot of them were in classes where they could win, so it was take a shot. Yeah.
Well, obviously you had a couple of really nice winners, but let's get to a little bit of a biography of you, something I call Jimmy Whittemore, and that's obviously a quick snapshot. You're a 35-year-old Maine native. Did you do a lot of racing up in Maine?
Not that much when I was young. I probably went to Rockingham. That's where I basically got my start.
All right, so 100 wins at least for 11 straight years. Last year was your best year ever with 168 winners. Divide up how many you think you won at Vernon and how many you won at Plain Ridge. Were the majority at Vernon Downs?
Yes, majority of them are Vernon Downs and other stakes races and places like that in Plain Ridge.
Now, Vernon, you have obviously horses on the grounds that you're the trainer-driver. Obviously, your girlfriend is the trainer, you're the driver.
Yep.
And you have some horses who race at Plain Ridge. Will the bulk of your horses who you have at Vernon, are those the ones that you and Marissa will be training there? And Plain Ridge, is that more of a cat's drive situation?
Yeah, mostly that's what it was last year. I raced most of them at Vernon and try to stay loyal there, and it's less on the horses first ship, but the ones that won't get in there, I'll take over to Plain Ridge or find a good spot for them.
You know, sometimes that's a bugaboo in harness racing about quote-unquote staying loyal. How does that play to your advantage, helping out and putting your horses in the entry box at a track and not necessarily going where the money is?
The big thing helps at Vernon. I got one of the biggest stables there, so when you put a lot of horses in the box, some of them can get into spots where they wouldn't at other places. You know, you can take advantage of having multiple horses fit the same class.
Now, is it kind of a cooperative? Because you told me yesterday when we were on the phone that sometimes when your horses don't get in at Vernon, you get them in at Tioga Downs.
Yep, yeah, I'll try to. Last year I took a major leaguer down there to race in the Open quite a few times, and other horses that didn't fit. Usually Scott Warren, he'll let me know which ones aren't getting in, and he'll call Jason Bloom and put them in over there for me.
Yeah, there's an awful lot that the racing secretaries have to do in this current generation because of the horse shortage, and certainly I'm sure that reverberates up to Tioga Downs and Vernon as well.
Yes, yep.
Yeah. Now let's talk a little bit about your wild weekend last week. And as I mentioned, last weekend you brought in 6 horses. You won with 3 of them. Now this weekend you brought in 10 horses, so maybe you're going to win 5 races this weekend, right?
How about, well, I'll just go with 3. That'll be great.
Oh, just go with 3.
That'd be good.
Now, the aforementioned, you want to get them speed tightened.
Yep.
How does that, work into your day-to-day exercise of a horse? In other words, you wanted to go speed tighten. Hopefully, finishing 5th here in 152 helps you go 54 at Vernon.
Oh, no, probably like those horses at Vernon, they won't have raced, and if mine have gone 52, theirs haven't gone that fast yet this year. It'll just give me an advantage, I think. I hope.
Now, last week on Friday night, you scored at 35-1 and almost 10-1. Then you came back Saturday and win with Major Leaguer. Only he went off as the favorite. Yeah. He was, it looks on paper, to be dropping just a bit in class. Yeah,
he did drop quite significantly, like every week. So I thought he had a legit shot last week. If I got out of there and got position, post position was going to be the biggest problem I had.
Now, you had told me that Major Leaguer is much better off a helmet, and yet you had him storming right to the top, and he goes right down the road. What gives?
Well, there was no holes, so I kind of had to go to the front.
Okay. Let's turn the clock back to the Friday night card. Only passing through. I did my trip notes on this race. Let's get that rolling ready. Only passing through down the backside was in a 3rd overflow, and then on the far turn, I saw that another horse got into the flow, and all of a sudden you were 4th over?
Yeah, a horse made a break in front of me, and then Vinny Ginzenberg was able to slip out in front of me, so we both ended up 1-2, so it ended up working out good for us, I guess.
All right, so only passing through, shipped in from Saratoga, where he'd finished 7th in his previous race, and he comes and wins at the Meadowlands at odds of $9.60 to 1. Yeah. Did it actually surprise you at how well he performed?
No, I thought he would get better on a big track. I bought him at the Meadowlands sale in January, and he was a legit open horse last year, so I thought if I got a trip like I did with the other one, he had a shot to win.
How about some other horses? Let's talk about some catch driving. I want to turn back the page to last year. You drove a very nice trotter for George Ducharme, who won a Hambletonian right here at the Meadowlands with royalty for life. You drove his Simple Chaos on the Massachusetts Sire Stakes circuit.
Yeah, he had a rough beginning. He had a couple lameness issues, but when he got to the Mass Stakes, the other horses were tired, and he really stepped up, and he won 56, and I think he set the track records for 2-year-olds there.
Now, I know that he was an open length winner.
Yeah.
Is that the best horse you've ever driven, or one of the best?
One of the best. I drove, probably one of the best ones. I drove Eviler just here on Hambo Day, and he finished second, just got beat. That was probably the best race here I've had.
Now, tonight, in the 5th race, the preferred handicap, we got some tough customers in there. Sutton, Milady's Monet, Hambletonian champion Pinkman, who's banked over $2.7 million. But you got a catch drive in there with $1 million horse by the name of Cash Me Out. First and foremost, how did you get that drive?
Me and Kyle have been friends for quite a while, and he never even mentioned it, and I just seen it when the sheet come out that he had put me up.
And it was a pleasant surprise,
yeah,
I guess.
very pleasant, because he's a good old horse. He just went over $1 million at Saratoga, and he's been racing pretty well.
Now, you watch him week in, week out at Saratoga, obviously. You're a regular up there waiting for Vernon Downs to start. Have you raced against Cash Me Out?
No, I don't believe I have. I haven't raced against him. I've just been able to watch him race.
Is he the kind of horse that you think is one-dimensional, where you want to go to the lead with him, or do you want to just take back, given the level of excellence that you're facing tonight?
I'll probably try to trip him out. I think he likes to trip better. He is a cash haul, so I think that would probably help him with a trip.
Kind of calm him down a little bit? Yeah. I mean, he's been first or second in 6 straight starts.
Right. Yep.
And then when you go to the start prior to that, he finished third behind Trolley and Miss LaRose.
Right.
So this is a serious racehorse.
Yes, he's a very nice horse, yeah.
All right, so clearly you're looking for another big weekend. We can't let you go before we talk about Marissa Chadbourne. We've seen her name next to your name on the program lines. She's the trainer of all your horses. Tell us about that relationship.
We met like 3 years ago in Maine. We worked in the same barn. So we've been together 3 years, and we got our trainer's license last year. So I'm gone a lot, or she has to ship a lot, so she could go down as trainer and not have a problem with workman's comp and stuff like that.
You mentioned to me that you don't have too many owners, that it's you, your dad, your mom. Do you like kind of keeping that circle tight so that you can get all the checks?
Yeah, unless there's, like, I got another owner in the barn, Scott Dillon. He sent me a nice mare last year. I got her. Hopefully she qualified today good, so hopefully she comes around again, and I can bring her down here next fall.
All right.
That's Vernon closes.
Before we let you go, Vernon Downs is about to open. Plain Ridge is about to open. You just had a big weekend at the Meadowlands. You're probably going to have another winner or two at the least this weekend.
Yep.
What about the coming months? Will you be seen at the Meadowlands?
If my horses fit well, we'll see how this weekend goes. If it goes good again, maybe I'll show back up and see where the horses fit.
Well, we certainly do hope to see Jimmy Whittemore in the coming weeks and months racing right here at the Big M. Jimmy, thanks so much for spending some time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Coming up next, Dave Brower's going to jump into Jimmy's seat as he gets to work, and we'll talk about this week's driver and trainer of the week. I wonder who that could be. And we'll do some feature race looks and also some best bets and long shots. Come on back. We'll be back in 60 seconds.